Right, so you've just observed me teaching a class, Romeo and Juliet, and we talked about questioning beforehand. So I've asked you to observe that in particular, and I'm going to refer to that section where I'm beginning to get them to think about who's responsible in this play for the death of those two young people. And I think you made some notes. What sort of questions did I start off with? That's right, closed questioning. And what's the purpose of that? Right, quick, easy, pat answers which build confidence and act as a recap. But they don't necessarily help you progress things very far. And it's cold calling at that point. And I made sure that I was selecting students who would know the answer. Then, at what point did the questioning change its timbre, if you like? That's it. What do you think about those more open questions? And what happened then? And I asked for hands up. That's right, I didn't get any. So jumping from cold calling to open questioning sometimes requires a little bit of easing in from one kind of questioning to another. What kind of response did I get after that? Yes, it was really hard work. It was like pulling teeth because they were a little bit stuck at that point, and I ploughed on with it. Now, this is showing you the restrictions that you can get with the cold calling. So at that point, yes, you're right. I should have changed my questioning tactic. I really should. So let's think about what I might have done that might have actually kept that rhythm and pace going. Yes, you're absolutely right. I noticed that, and you were reading the room as well. There was fiddling with pencils at that point, and a couple of huffing and puffings and some fidgeting in the seat. So that's your signal that the rhythm and pace is going off track a little bit. You've usually got some time to pull it back at that stage, but you do need to change tack. So well done for spotting that. So let's think about some of the other things we can do, keeping the questioning going so that they're ploughing through that text and taking some responsibility for working things out without me actually spoon feeding things to them. Yes, I think that would have been the first port of call. Let them work in pairs. Here's a question. What do you think? Talk with a partner for a little while about it and see if you think there is somebody who takes responsibility for this tragedy. So you can do think, pair, share. You can remember to give them thinking time before they pair and before they share. That's a very good first port of call while you're thinking about something that might be a little bit more creative. So what else might you do? You're right, they could get stuck with that and they could just say, well, nobody else, it's just a story. So you could hit a brick wall, in which case, that's a nice idea. Yes, you can allocate a character to each one and discuss, was Paris to blame? Was Romeo to blame? Another pair can look at Juliet herself, maybe her mother. That would be a nice way of gathering a lot of information and give them some focus to look at and make them go over the play again. Well done, that's a good one, yes. What else might they do? Yes, you need to turn it around from just a condemnation of a character and get a little bit of depth. So yes, having decided that it was the friar's fault, we could hot seat the friar. And they are then asking the questions and seeing how the friar responds. Now, would that be one of us in role, or would it be one of them? Remember, you're teaching this lesson tomorrow. It could start off with one of us and we could hand over, or if nobody seems to want to do it. Yeah, I think that's a wise move. Good. Yes, we'll have to see how read the room on the day on that one. So what's your idea? Oh, start off the next lesson with a mini court case with all those characters defending their corner and saying why they weren't responsible. That's a lovely idea. Might take a little bit of planning, but yes, we'll work on that. We'll see whether we can do that with the class we've just seen in a couple of days' time. Thank you very much. Well done.